So I've built boards like towers, castles, and a fully integrated Mordheim board that's 4 foot by 4 foot. I like this because I could just take it off the wall and play with it. But this storage solution isn't for everyone. Today, I'm going to show you how to make some modular terrain that is easy to scratch build yourself. Because it's modular, it might be up more your alley. I think I said that right. Together, we're gonna make this terrain from start to finish. Idea to finished product. Let's get started. So one of my friends I used to play RPGs with a lot contacted me and said he wanted a fighting pit in a forest. This is something I've never really done before. Typically I build things for like cityscapes, so I thought this would be a cool opportunity to build something a little bit more organic. If you're playing Mordheim or Warhammer Fantasy, I think this would be perfect. This idea would be perfect for like a beastman camp or like a cultist ritual site or maybe a dryad forest. Obviously, because it's a forest, I need to include trees, but I also thought it would be cool to make it usable for more than one game. So I'm making it modular, and all these pieces will fit in that circle, but he can use them as individual elements. So I thought it would be cool to have some line of sight blockers that are like standing stones for like rituals, or including 1-inch pavers so that people can kind of guess at how far they are. We're not going to use all of these, but I wanted to have them in the future. So I kind of scribed them out and set them aside for later. Now I got to make the room, like the standing stones. I'm kind of thinking the best way to do this is just to do it randomly. So I have an offcut that I can cut a bunch of rune stones from, and then I'm just gonna do that so that I have no clean edges, really. I started off by plucking off the edges of the standing stones just to give it some inconsistencies and add a little bit more randomization. I probably didn't have to go this overboard, but I did like the look of it, so I made sure that there were no straight edges at all. Again, a little overboard, but I think it looks good. And then for one of these standing stones, I carved in a shape just to kind of add a little bit more mysticalness and versatility for this type of terrain. Because I don't know exactly what the storyline is for this RPG. So hopefully one day this rune will mean something to everyone. Anyway, I just glued up a bunch of them after I kind of solidified the process, and did that to all the other ones. I wanted to make some big like entryway type standing stones, and to kind of signify that, I took out a hole punch. I think this was from like a vacuum cleaner, and I just carved out a circle out of both of these and lined them up as best as I could, just to kind of add to that mysticalness. In my experience of playing RPGs, having a big bad guy kind of be framed by one of these standing stones is like the perfect spot. So I think this is gonna really set the scene for any encounter. Right. I finished the last of the standing stones, and I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that, to be honest. While I was at Adepticon, I played this game called Splatter Night, And as soon as the hall opened, I went straight to the Hivescum booth, and Deathcap Stories, who wrote this game, was right there, and he gave me this book. And I did a demo of it with him, and it was honestly kind of one of the highlights of the event. In the game, it's basically a gladiator match for the gods. So you're trying to splatter every knight that you see. So I'm thinking this would be a perfect arena for that game. You can get this game on deathcapstories.com. It's pretty cheap, and he's actually gonna come out with a couple zines that he's handing out at all the events he can go to. And he's not paying for this. I just like him, and I wanted to shout out his game. So, yeah, I probably should have started off by saying that, but so I just made these like platforms, and these are going to be great to kind of add some elevation and a man-made element. The next thing is I gotta get that forest look. So I have this gnarled branch, and I'm just gonna saw off sections of it and then just kind of stick them to these individual elements. So let's do that. I have been posting weekly videos for the last almost 4 years. Really, there isn't a challenge in it anymore. A lot of me getting started doing videos, I'm pretty ADD. Making it a game makes it easier for me, if that makes sense. But I have been considering stepping back from the weekly content just because it seems like because I'm churning them out too quickly for people to follow along. And I'm sort of curious on how good I could make something look given time. I started this hobby doing weekly videos, and I've never had the liberty to take time on a project. It's always to like grind something out. And so I just like you to leave a comment and give me feedback, and saying you want weekly content is good feedback. So please leave it below. But it's just something I've been thinking about. All right. I wish I could add more of the trees, but I am a little worried that it's going to be hard to like get your hand in here. But if he wanted a 1 foot circle, which I do think is kind of small, so he can spread these out a little bit just to give it a little bit more breathing room. But I do want to have him have that option to like shrink it down if he needs. And then the main reason we're doing this is like he can still use it as like scatter terrain, which I think is really cool. The last thing I gotta do to add detail is he wanted like some tree walls, like logs shoved into the ground, like kind of a pilgrim fort type look. So I'm gonna do that a little bit and then reinforce it with popsicle sticks and then call it a day. I did almost forget to put on these 1-inch pavers. When I went to the California mission a couple of months ago, these pavers were everywhere, all over, and it was a really cool detail that I've been wanting to put on some builds, but this one just seemed like the perfect one. These are 1-inch squares meant for helping you move your RPG characters. And typically, it's not like a war game, like you don't have to be like super specific. So I just kind of spaced them out by eye and then left gaps 1 inch where I wasn't putting the spacers and kind of made them diagonal and stuff like that. So it didn't look like it was a grid, but it was giving the feel of that. Lastly, I started coating everything with black paint and PVA school glue, and it was ready to start painting. As far as painting goes, I never use anything other than Dollar Tree paint. So I wanted to do like an orangey brown, kind of as a gradient from the ground level up. And then I went to like a darker gray, starting from the top down. And then I dry brushed everything with a lighter gray. And then after that, finally I did like a light gray and just stippled that on all the upward facing parts, just to make sure that the stuff that's in the sun is looking like it's in the sun. For the pavers, I wanted it to look like kind of a terracotta look, like they've been fired in a kiln, and then also a stone, like they've been here for a while. And I think this color kind of rode that fence pretty well. And then I forgot to hit record when I was painting the ground brown, but that's pretty straightforward. And then I did my stonework in like a limestone brick color, and I painted all the trees in these stripes to kind of act like as a birch tree. And that's kind of the way I usually like to do this. Kind of like Tree of Gondor white. And I think it adds a lot of contrast. A long time ago, I did a Temu sponsorship, and I got a bunch of flocking. And so I put on these leaves and some moss, and it was cool to actually finally use some of this stuff. I don't know about you, I think this turned out really cool. I've never made anything that I would call pretty before. Mostly it's kind of like post-apocalyptic, dead, and there's something pretty cool about this. I'm a huge fan of it. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.